Hey guys, Stephanie here. As some of you might have seen from my social media updates, I was in Ottawa last week attending the Political Action Conference. I'm on the Government Relations Committee for the Realtors Association of Hamilton Burlington. So basically my job is to advocate in the best interest of my clients, aka Canadian homeowners, and make sure that the government is making the right changes or hopefully not any more changes. So what I attended was a conference listening to some great speakers about our Canadian economy and how it's going to affect your decisions as a real estate owner and investor. And I was also there to talk to members of Parliament to see what they're doing about these new proposed rules that the government is enacting, which are quite a few. As you know, in April, they released the 16 new housing measures to cool the market. And it has worked. The market has cooled a lot in the Greater Hamilton and Toronto area. So you would think that they got the job done and they did what they were set out to do and they cooled the economy a little bit. But apparently they didn't think that that was enough. So now they're going to enact a couple new rules. So let me shed some light on that and why I think that they're a little bit worrisome. One of them is right now, if you have an unsecured mortgage, meaning if you put less than 20% down payment on your house, you are going to have to pay mortgage insurance fees, which are very pricey. And you're also going to have to qualify at an overnight rate, which is larger than what you can actually get your mortgage for. So for example, if you go to the bank right now, you can get a mortgage for, let's say, 3%. On a 5-year fixed rate. Now, if you have an uninsured mortgage, so you have to actually qualify for at least a 4.64 mortgage rate in case mortgage rates go up in the next couple of years. So fair enough, we want to make sure that Canadians can afford their mortgage payments when mortgage rates inevitably do go up. And now what the government's trying to do is enact those rules on people who are putting more than 20% down. So as you probably know, if you've bought a house, a lot of people are saving up for that 20% down because they don't want to pay their mortgage insurance fees. So in this new proposed changes, they actually don't have to pay any mortgage insurance fees if you put 20% down. But now the government is saying that you also have to qualify at not just the overnight rate of that 3% we were talking about, but 2% more than that. So now you actually have to qualify at 5% interest rate when you can really only pay your mortgage at 3%. If that doesn't make sense, then I'll clarify a little bit more if you want to just personal message me. But basically what this is doing for you as a home buyer is taking away a lot of your purchasing power. So for example, if you want to buy a house for $700,000 and you have your 20% down, with these new proposed changes that are going to be enacted January 1st, you're only going to be able to afford a house for $550,000. If you have a $400,000 mortgage, now you can only afford $320,000 mortgage. So this is going to displace a lot of Canadians. Maybe it would provoke them to continue renting, or they would have to settle for a location that they don't really want to be in. Whereas at their $400,000 or $700,000 range, they get exactly what they want. So this is bad for the economy, and I'll tell you why. If there's not people buying houses, there's going to be more renters. And we know that some people, of course, renting works for them. Everybody's different. But a lot of Canadians find value in home ownership. And my job is to make home ownership somewhat attainable. Now, removing people's purchasing power if they have 20% down, it's too much. It's like giving chemo to somebody when they don't even have cancer yet, if they might have cancer in 5 years. Interest rates aren't high yet. People can still afford their mortgages. I don't see any powers of sale. I don't see any foreclosures because people can't afford their mortgages. So why is the government enacting this rule that is going to take away so much of Canadians' purchasing power? Every home sale in Canada generates $65,000 in spin-off spending in our economy, whether it's through renovations or furnishing your house or hiring professionals and tradesmen. So not only does it boost the economy, the federal government gets $4 billion a year from home sale revenue. The provincial government gets $5 billion a year from people buying homes. And our municipal governments on average actually make $2 billion a year off of their local home sales. Not only that, but real estate creates jobs. So between 2014 and 2016, we saw almost 100,000 jobs created because of selling real estate, whether it's realtors or mortgage brokers or insurance agents or contractors or people at home furnishing stores that are doing direct sales and retail sales. So real estate is good for our economy, and I totally understand that it is unattainable for a lot of Canadians right now, and I want to make that easier and get the government on the same page as us. So if you have any questions, just please private message me. Thanks for listening.